Good evening, everyone. I'm here to present about some programs we found that we think are going to benefit our kids. The programs that I'm going to talk about tonight are ALEKS and the Redbird Mathematics Program. And first of all, what prompted us to look for this program was the ACT Aspire math scores. We looked at them from the 2016-2017 school year, and here's the breakdown of the number we tested and where everyone fell. And you can see over here who met the readiness benchmark for being ready or exceeding. And we did the same. We looked at the 2017-2018 school year, and what we found was, let's look at just who met the readiness benchmark in math for the district, and it's only about a third of our students. So this tells us that we need to improve our math test scores. We need to help kids get ready and to move into that area of being ready or exceeding. You can see here that in some cases we did grow, and some cases we did not. We kind of stayed the same. So we really need something that's going to help improve those scores. And one of the things that is important is how we're going to inform our parents about this. When we show the parents their scores, that's a good time to inform them of what our plans are to help their child get better. This can be done at your parent-teacher conference. This can be done through our newsletters, when we address the public once a year. We can also let the parents know what it is, what our action plan is going to be, what it is we plan on doing to help their children score better in math in our district. So who did I involve in this process to find these two programs? Well, I, the curriculum coordinator, went to some of the principals, went to the math instructional facilitators. I even spoke to our GT coordinator and our math teachers and our classroom aides. I wanted to involve everyone who instructs kids in this process, because I feel like they have a say. They're a stakeholder, and I think they have a say in what we actually decide, what program we actually decide to go with. And so I was really excited to hear from everyone, all the way down to classroom aides. So what are we looking for? We decided we were looking for a program or programs depending on the grade level. We wanted it to cover K-12. We wanted something that is scientifically going to improve test scores, that there's some data that backs up that they are going to improve test scores if our kids do their program. And we really wanted it web-based. We really wanted to move into that web-based. So what did we find? Well, we came across a lot of things. Two programs stuck out the most. Redbird Mathematics, which was K-5, and ALEKS, which is is 6-12. ALEKS actually can be started in 3rd grade, so there is some overlapping with Redbird. They're both by the same company, so that helps too, that they're both the same. They use the same research to back up their method of helping kids. And what we would do is we would phase this in probably after their first NWEA test, where we can start identifying some kids, areas of need more specifically. But we want everyone to participate in this, because it's for GT kids all the way down. Everyone is on their own individualized track with both programs. So we felt like these two really stood out amongst all the rest, because they had some background, some scientific research that they had done that really showed student improvement. Now, the principal is going to have to work with the teachers, the math teachers, and the aides on scheduling this. It may have to happen within the math class, maybe during their group time. You know, there's so many kids doing ALEKS or so many kids doing Redbird while the instruction is going on. So the principals are going to have to work with those math teachers in that, and also the pacing. These programs work with each student individually, so they are, the instruction is individualized to that student and goes at the pace that the student works at. So, but pacing it within the classroom would really have to be done between the principal and the math teachers. Now, looking at what all they offer individualized assessment, they overlap with one another, they are adaptive, they do not use multiple choice, which is something I was happy to see, so that each child has to go through that thinking process. There is detailed monitoring of student mastery of the standards. They are available in Spanish and in English. There's also a math fact quick tables that you can order along with this program that we'll talk about with the RTI element. We know that McGraw-Hill is a trusted company, so we want to go with somebody we trust, not just some fly-by-night company. And it provided training for teachers and their staff and technical support, and of course it is web-based. And of course Redbird looks the same because it's the same company. So that McGraw-Hill is a trusted company. So there's Redbird and Alex does look very similar. Now, training can be done online during professional development times that we already have scheduled out throughout our school year. And later on I'll talk about the cost of some of that, but it is online. Principals and math facilitators can be included in this training, since the math facilitator has to ensure that this program is being implemented in the classrooms with fidelity. We can have reports from this. There are detailed reports, there's detailed progress monitoring, right there. So that tells us if we're doing it with fidelity or if we're not in each classroom, because it would be easy to pull those reports to find out, what teachers, if they are doing this program with fidelity, which I know they want to, because they're searching for these answers too. RTI is something that we all, schedule in with our day. Tiers 1 and Tiers 2. Alex and Redbird work really well with those two levels. You can see here that it is expected to have 90 to 120 minutes per week for each one. And it does cover Tier 1 and Tier 2 for our RTI. Tier 3 is really done with the facilitator on a more one-on-one, maybe just two people there with the interventionist or with the facilitator. And that's when that Quick Tables could come in. You could actually order the Quick Tables program and actually do Tier 3 with them. Now, one thing I noticed, this is from another school, it's an inner city school, and you can see here that they have graphed or have kept up with their data from when they were beginning the program till they exited the program. And you can see here that there's a lot of growth here. That helps us assess this plan. So we would definitely look at assessing and evaluating this plan at least once a year when the students have finished with the program, when they have exited and they have mastery. Teachers can do that. Facilitators can be a part of that too. And also when we get our ACT Aspire scores, we definitely sit down and see, did we show growth? Again, once a year the principal can report all of this out to the public about what actions we're planning on doing and what money we're spending and where we're spending it, especially if it's Title I money used to buy this program. So, that's always a good time to do some evaluations there and to show our parents, because their concerns are, are their children succeeding? Sometimes there are dips in the program, like we expect great things and we don't necessarily see that. We're not planning on abandoning this program after the first year. It takes about 3 years to see and implement something, with fidelity over a 3-year time. So what we would probably do is track the results of this data or this program during that 3-year time. That would be my job to keep up with and see if it is worth the cost. Here it is, $60 per student. is the cost of the Redbird. Alex is $27.50 per student. These numbers change depending on how many 9 weeks or how many months you subscribe for. Redbird would basically total $120 per student if you did a 2 9 weeks, or a more, $240 if you did a year. Now, the breakdown looks like this. The number of students we have in the elementary, the intermediate, the middle, and the high school that are tested. The cost it would be if you were to use Redbird along with Alex would be $80,000 for a year to buy enough licenses for all of these students. If we went with Alex only, you can see the cost would be a fraction of that, would just be $33,000 a year. That's a big concern, is money. There are other concerns as well. There will be teachers who have concerns. There will be GT teacher who may have a concern. The computer lab teacher. We will address each of these as they come up. The math facilitator would be the first person you would go to with your concerns, and then the principal, and on up the line like this, because we have an implementation action in front of us, a plan that we're going to try and go through, and we have steps to that plan, but we also have steps for your voices to be heard. If you have a concern, you need to let those people know, because we want your concerns voiced. We want to hear them so that we can address them and think about them. You may have thought of something that we did not. Professional development is provided through the Alex and the Redbird program. They have online on-site training. We would probably do our training online. I believe I addressed that already. We would also include teachers, aides, principals, everyone that's going to teach a child. We would want them trained. And these are the people I talked with and interviewed with when we went searching, my committee, when we went searching for a program. And here's some of the research that we looked at that backs up Redbird and the Alex program. Thank you so much for your time.